Many of us see the ocean as a place of joy, a place for sport, a summer destination, a place to relax. The ocean holds many dangers, but protecting us from these dangers, the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, or RNLI, established in 1824, the RNLI have since saved over 143,000 people. The RNLI serve as a predominantly voluntary institution. So why would these heroes choose to risk their own lives to protect? What's involved in their work? And what is the goal of the RNLI?
I'm responsible for the day-to-day running of operations at the lifeboat station. So that's everything from crew recruitment all the way up to authorising launches. With my role, probably more than most people at the station, because I have a lot of admin to do as well, apart from all the practical stuff. So probably doing about 12 hours work a week dedicated to the RNLI. These days, for people coming into the lifeboat service, there's a lot more training involved. It's become a lot more formal compared to when I started. We use a competence-based training scheme, very similar to what they use in industry. That means that the crew are expected to put in quite a lot of time to training, etc. And they all do. They all try to be as professional as they possibly can.
My overall responsibility of a helmsman is towards my crew and the boat. I suppose that I'm in overall charge, perhaps make the final decisions, but we tend to work as a team as best we can using all the skills and knowledge that we've acquired from the RNLI training. The RNLI asks that we do a minimum of 12 training sessions a year. It's fair to say that we train every Sunday. We do the occasional night shout and a few other exercises that are perhaps more shore-based, such as medical training and things like that. Exercise goes on every Sunday subject to availability. Of course, what you have to do is also work that around your work commitments and your family commitments, so everybody does as much as they possibly can do.
Anybody can join. We get people from all walks of life. I mean, at our station, my crew, we have accountants, doctors, solicitors, teachers, all sorts of people. The most important thing is that they dedicate themselves to the task, and they all do. When somebody shows an interest in joining, I interview them and explain exactly what's entailed with being a lifeboat crew member. And it does mean that they need to carry their pager 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They also need to dedicate themselves to the training that's involved, which is quite extensive these days, as I said earlier. That they want to help other people, and that's what this is all about. I mean, being a lifeboat man or woman is a selfless act, and they all dedicate themselves to it wonderfully.
I'm a volunteer, but I'm responsible for the launch vehicle, which is a tow track vehicle, the boat, engine and trolley. That's what goes into the water to launch the D-class lifeboat, and also the building. So it's quite a lot of responsibility working with the lifeboat operations manager. Because it's a volunteer role, the commitment I think is flexible. However, the expectation is in my role that I should do 6 hours a week. I probably do 25-30 hours a week, so it's pretty much like a full-time job, but that's because I'm very committed to what we do here.
The RNLI is vital to the safety of those in the ocean, saving 349 lives in 2020. That's almost one person rescued every day. With over 5,600 crewmen, 95% of which are volunteers. With such an important role, what does a lifeboat emergency require?
So in terms of shouts, we do some in the region, maybe 20 to 30 a year. The Worm's Head is on our territory as well, and of course people get stuck on there because we have huge tides down here.
My pager will go off first, my pager and my deputies, and those pagers will be activated by the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard will normally have received a 999 call from a member of the public or even from the casualty themselves. They then set off my pager, I talk to the Coast Guard on the phone, They explain the nature of the call. I authorise the launch of the lifeboat, and the Coast Guard then page all the crew who assemble at the station, and then we choose the crew who are to go out on the shout, and off they go.
The role's got to be taken very seriously. It's important that you have fun, and it's important that you have camaraderie and get on with your crew. And I think there is a requirement now to take it quite seriously in terms of making sure that you've got all of the boxes ticked and you know what you're doing when you go out there.
Though founded in 1824, the first lifeboat was built in 1785. Claimed an unsinkable wooden boat, it used only oars to paddle. 237 years later, technology and other methods have adapted and evolved.
We use a 5-metre rigid inflatable Hypalon constructed boat, which is an outboard Mariner 50 horsepower engine. Roles for the lifeboats are different, and because ours is small and versatile, it can react to the geographical area that we live in, because there's a lot of rocks and small coves and beaches that nowhere the lifeboat, which is much bigger, can't get in and rescue people.
What's really changed is the level and quality of the equipment that we use.
A lot has changed, especially the equipment, safety driven, from open boats and cork buoyancy aids to very complicated life jackets with every conceivable life-saving bit of kit on it.
We have things such as satellite beacons,
flares, gas canisters, etc. And the boats themselves have gone from open top rowing boats to now the RNLI has got the Shannon, which is a jet propelled, self-made lifeboat, which is currently being constructed and introduced throughout the fleet.
The goal of the RNLI really, in a nutshell, is in their slogan.
Protect people and to save people. That's what we do.
For me, it's about safety.
We save lives at sea. That's what they were formed for, and that's what we do.
The goal of the organisation and us volunteers or staff is to save lives at sea.
That's not a statement of bravado. That is the purpose of the RNLI, is to go out there and assist people.
Everything we do revolves around saving lives at sea, and it's quite as simple as that, really.